Coming up.
See those rocks? Yeah, it's alright, it's throwing up a bit of dust. But now look at the Sherman. At a slower speed, mind you. So imagine if you could have a Sherman with higher pedals. And then the drifts you could do on that would just be... What's up, people? How you doing? In this one, it's going to be a short one, but I just thought this was interesting because it's the first time I've ever done this. Basically, I had my EUC app, EUC World. There's like EUC World, wheel log, and whatever else that connects to your wheel, and it tells you all your parameters, speed, voltage, distance, all that stuff. It's the first time I had that running while filming a video because I never thought about this. I was thinking, like, how would I do this? You see some people's videos have it, like, overlaid, so you know how fast they're going during their footage. But I didn't want to do that because when you do that inside the app, it has, like, really bad camera quality, and it has to be a vertical video as well, I believe. So now it occurred to me that I can just have it running separately on a screensaver and then just overlay it in editing. So that's what I'm doing. And we're doing a power slide, and it's cool because I wanted to know how fast I'm going into these slides. I was always wondering that, like, you can't really, look at your phone while you're doing a power slide. Or like on the Sherman, look at the screen, have your head down. You got to be focused on what you're doing. So I could never take note of my speed, even with my watch on. That watch where I can run EUC World? Even with that, I can't look at my watch as I'm power sliding, Can't be that casual. So yeah, let's roll the footage. And it's pretty interesting, I reckon, to see how much faster this 16X can go into corners than the Sherman. Purely because of the pedal clearance. The Sherman has these pedals that are so low that it's basically touching the ground as you ride. It's like having training wheels. If it was any lower, you'd be riding a tricycle. We'll let it play through once, and then we'll come back and analyze it. And we'll talk about the Sherman after this too. Just to see how it compares, I'll play some like older footage and compare it to this.
Yeah, boy. Yeah, boy.
Alright, now let's analyze it. So at this point here is where I start losing traction. And as you can see, I'm going 44 k's an hour. And that surprised me, actually, because that's nearly top speed. This thing tops out at 50. And this is also way faster than what I would expect to be doing on the Sherman for a slide because of the pedals. Because the faster you're going, the more you need to lean for any given corner. And that also applies when you're sliding. But wait though, there's something the Sherman does better, and I'll show you that in a sec. I paused it here again because at this point is where I start to really twist the wheel and get sideways. Like before, at 44 k's an hour is where I started losing traction. It's kind of like skidding, when you slam on the brakes, it starts sort of sliding. But now I'm really going sideways, and it's slowed down to 35 kilometers an hour, which is still pretty fast, I reckon. Because on the Sherman, I'm guessing that the fastest slide I did was around 30 k's an hour. And here we're still going well above that, and we're truly into the slide now. And this gives me hope, guys, because I always thought that doing slides at faster speeds would be like impossible, but it's looking like it's not that hard. The faster you go, the harder it gets, but you do it gradually. And I reckon one day I'll be able to do drifts at like 50 k's an hour, and maybe even faster. Who knows? It'd be crazy, wouldn't it? But I would want to gear up hard, like if I'm going 60 plus or something. you know, the pretty good chance of falling. So you'd want to be geared up. And another thing I didn't mention, guys, is that on this wheel, I've got no pads. There's no padding. So if it falls, it's going to smash that plastic really easily. So it's kind of a high risk situation here. And now we're sliding across the second camera I had set up, which is the high speed camera running at high frames per second. It's like 240 frames per second. But you can see now we've slowed down to 23 kilometers an hour. And that's still pretty quick, guys. That's like well above the top speed of those share scooters. You know, those e-scooters you see like dumped on the street. They top out at 15 k's an hour, and we're still going 23 on this. Who knows? It might even be faster because, you know, when you're sliding, the wheel is kind of braking. So maybe the speedometer is not giving you your true speed. It's giving you your wheel speed. Real? See the pun there? It's not giving you your true speed. But yeah, I said wheel, not real. Because, you know, you've got some sideways velocity as well as forwards velocity.
Yeah, boy.
Alright, now I told you I would talk about the Sherman again and why it's better in some ways. Basically, it's just tougher. The Sherman is just a beast. And when you slide that thing, even though you're not going as fast, it just tears up the ground and throws up like 100,000 rocks. Look at the light there. And I'll just quickly show you the footage. I'll show you quickly again the 16X. See those rocks? Yeah, it's alright, you know, it's throwing up a bit of dust. But now look at the Sherman. At a slower speed, mind you. So imagine if you could have a Sherman with higher pedals. And then the drifts you could do on that would just be mean.